Brian Deneke was killed because he was a punk rocker. As the story goes, as the guy that killed him ran him over with his Cadillac and backed over him a couple more times and then drove off shouting, "I'm a ninja with my Cadillac." He was arrested, charged with murder, found guilty, but according to the story, his lawyer was able to argue during sentencing that killing a punk isn't the same as killing a human, so they released him on probation.
A skinny, smiley kid people call Sunshine, who adopted the old-school punk look back in the 90s, suffered some harassment from the local jocks, and was eventually involved in a huge, unruly brawl in a parking lot. Differing accounts exist, as is the norm with these things, but one kid on the opposing side decided to drive away, with a few friends in the car. Then he changed his mind, went back, despite protestations from a girl in his car. He ran down Brian Deneke and slaughtered him. The defense attorney pointed out Deneke's bellicose attire, his affiliation with the term punk, that is, a worthless person, contrasted with the fact that his killer was a football player. This is Texas, where Jesus Christ used to play a little ball. And the boy, Dustin Camp, went to church, which Deneke, of course, did not. So the jury saw it as a case of self-defense, despite the police report, or the testimony of the future valedictorian riding in Dustin's car when it killed Brian, a girl who would describe the fight during her valedictorian speech as between people who wore different clothes. Dustin Camp got probation and a fine. The fine was dropped. After the judgment, a journalist asked Brian's father what he made of the leniency of the sentence, and he said it was no surprise. The boy's parents had actually expected their son's killer to get off, and noted that, despite him being a lovable, good kid by all accounts, they had warned him that his appearance would make him a constant target, and any fray he was involved in would end with him taking the blame. So they were honest with him, but allowed him to be himself. And from the stories I've read about this case, I can't say they could have done, or should have done, any different.
And this boy died because he looked different. So this thing happens. This guy kills this kid and is clearly guilty. His guilt is admitted. And guess where this all-American athlete is? He's in college. The jury felt the punk rocker deserved to die because he looked the way he did. And not only was he killed, but then in the trial, he was killed again because they, criticized his lifestyle because he didn't, wear Tommy Hilfiger shirts and khaki pants, The American dream, strong, normal. The nerds, the throwaways, the thinkers, the daydreamers. These are the beaten. These are the kids that can't drink out of the water fountain today. I don't see anyone standing up for their civil rights. And then we say, are we surprised why they're mad or why they end up dead? Why the violence? You made them, America. What do you expect?